Welcome to our video about how to get fired. From
absolutely. Hey, listen, we're going to be going back to the main video in just a few seconds, but quickly, I wanted to let you know that we have got a special SBL giveaway club that you are going to want to be a part of because it's 100% free to join. Each and every month, we give away audio interfaces, strings, bass heads, pedals, cables, multi-effects, straps. We even give away basses. And to join the giveaway club for free, all you need to do is go to sblgiveaway.com or just click the link in the description. Now, with that said, good luck in this month's giveaway, and let's get back to the main video. In this video, we're going to be talking about gear, a lot of gear. We're going to be talking about what's going on down here, this spaceship. We're trying to contact somebody out there, I'm not sure. We're also going to be talking about these basses here. Janek's brought all of these incredible basses in. But we thought we'd kick off the video talking about if you are new to, bass effects and the world of pedal boards, what's really the essential things that somebody might need on their board? If they were to come to you and be like, I've got like, I don't know, $300 or $500 or whatever it is, what should I get?
I mean, I think it's the $1 million question. It's definitely the question I get asked probably the most when it comes to pedals, and they see my videos and they're like, man, you got 300 pedals. Where do you start? I think you've got to ask yourself, what do you need? What do you do? Do you, like you just said, this is a wedding band killer. Do you play in wedding bands? Are you playing Brown Eyed Girl every night? You don't need anything that you see in front of you. Are you playing rock? Do you need control over your sound? Do you need compression? Do you need fuzz? Do you need overdrive? Do you need parallel paths? So many questions you could ask. I would argue that in terms of an entry point, if you are really new to effects and you just don't know that much about them, a multi-effects, something like the HX Stomp, which is on my board in a very specific capacity as a harmonizer on this setup.
How come you get the sexy colors? Do you have to be special to get these colors? What's the deal?
No, you just have to be quick when they come out.
I've got like one of the black ones. I'm looking down, I'm like,
I do have, they call this one the Stormtrooper.
Oh, nice.
The white one, yeah. But in terms of getting access, like you mentioned, a budget, say you have got $500 and you can go pick up an HX Stomp or something, like you have access to every kind kind of effect there is.
So inside there's like distortions,
compressors,
delays,
fuzzes, filters, octaves, harmonizer, reverbs, you name it. Then maybe you can make a much more informed decision about, okay, what do I want to get that's outside of this? Do I want a really nice external compressor? Do I want a really nice reverb? So maybe for not a crazy amount of budget, you can have access to literally every effect that's ever been made, at least the style of effect. And then you can say, well, I've got a couple $100 extra, I'll get a really nice compressor.
And why would somebody, because is there compressors inside there?
Absolutely.
Like, why would somebody want to do that?
So if you have to make a decision about where this goes in a pedal board. So if you do have plans to have some sort of pedal board, this must occupy a certain link in the signal chain.
Got it.
And it can't occupy everything. You can't have something where you want compression up front and reverb down the end and using other pedals.
Okay.
People ask me, why do you have these reverb and delay pedals on there when there are reverbs and delays in the stomp? Because I can't have the stomp at the end and still use it as a harmonizer.
So it's to do with signal chain.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's to do with signal chain and where it goes, and you kind of have to make a decision. You could, for instance, put octaves and fuzzes and compressors in this thing. That's a massive part of a regular sort of bass signal chain, and then have something else down the end, time-based effects maybe outside.
Got it. Okay,
but I'm not saying that the compressors are horrible in here or anything. I'm just saying you might want to make a choice to have an extra pedal. Look at our friend Ian Martin Allison, for instance. Has one of the greatest small boards, which is,
he's got one of the, and then he's got an external compressor.
And then he's got an external compressor, and I want to say maybe a fuzz pedal.
Yeah.
I think he has the Doom 2.
But he runs all this, so he runs the compressor all the time.
Always on.
Is yours always on?
If we take a look under the board on this board, I have, because it's a stereo signal, I have a compressor on each side. And depending on what I want.
Is this these two here?
These two, the Miura M2s. Depending on what I want, if I need some control, those will be on all the time, like my preamp is, for instance.
So somebody's going to be watching this and going to be thinking, why have compression on all the time?
Because it's about control, Like as we were talking before we got going here, I was talking to the engineer in the studio saying, hey, you might want to track a little bit of compression just because I'm going to go crazy with this soundscape.
So some are going to be super loud, some not so loud.
Something could really stick out, and that could be the difference between saving or ruining a session. You don't want to clip on an audio track, right? Where it peaks and flattens out the waveform. So I'm using it in that sense in a very subtle way. I think that's a really sort of a standard thing for bass players, is to have a little bit of compression.
Yeah. So you would go multi-effects.
Yes.
Potentially a compressor.
Yeah.
And then would you because like we're living in the world of fancy DIs right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fancy DIs.
I mean, that would be...
Would you say that as
well?
Yeah,
and we're here in the studio. I bought a couple of things. If you want to get fancy, I mean, this costs more than the HX Stomp itself. It's the Caveman Audio BP1. It's basically an old Neve 1073.
Got it.
In a pedal. They do a compact version with less knobs that's half the size. Yeah. That's something I take to the studio when I don't know the studio. I've never tracked here before, so that's something I bring just as an option. Very clean. And it is a DI and a preamp. It does warm up the sound a little bit. Of course, like so many bass players, this is the unobtainium in terms of price, unfortunately.
Is this the really early one that you've got? Yeah.
This has its own Pelican case. I don't know which camera's going to see this, but yeah, oh, wow. So much, it's so early, Jack wrote on it, serial number 9.
Number 9, yeah.
Yeah, and Jack signed it, Jack Rohn, who owns this company, and it still has the tubes and the power supply on the outside, really early on. But this is on so many people's boards. I think Ian uses one of these. I know Sean Hurley does. The list is endless. They're really expensive, but
it's because it does something to the tone, doesn't it?
It warms it up.
The depth of it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's a basic EQ. You won't get any saturation out of this. You won't be able to break it up. It's not one of those. And to that end, in my pedal board, it's something I've had in there for about a year now, regardless of whether it's the Spaceship in stereo or in mono. I have a JHS color box, which is another...
Yeah, what is that? I saw you flip it up earlier.
Yeah, so that's another take on the Neve 1073. And it's a DI and a preamp, and you have a bunch of, bass, treble, and mid, and a gain stage, like steps. You can really break that up. Like that can turn into a fuzz or a distortion.
So are you using that as a DI now?
I'm using that as a preamp. That's in front of everything. So that's the very first thing. Your volume pedal is actually the first thing, but the very first thing is the preamp that's feeding into
always
everything.
on.
Always on. Yeah.
Always on. Yeah.
And that does give me the option to have a clean DI before all of the effects if I wanted to.
Yeah.
And then we have a stereo DI coming out here, which is actually what we're tracking right now.
Got it. So take us through the beast.
Take you through the beast. Okay, so very, very first is a volume pedal off to the side here, but the first thing we get is the color box, the JHS color box, basically a preamp DI 1073. And like I said, you can crank it and turn it into distortion, fuzz, overdrive, ton of things. That rolls into the original, the old 3-leaf audio Octaver, sort of co-designed with Tim LaFave in mind.
Spencer and Tim.
Exactly, Spencer from 3-leaf.
Word of warning, anything 3-leaf, a little pricey.
It is, especially this one. I tried to put a price together on this board. Actually, for your comment algorithm, people should get in the comments and try and guess what this board costs. And maybe we'll reveal it at the end of the video.
Yeah. Actually, do that. I'm gonna, as you go through, I'm gonna try and take a guess.
Do a
you
little
guys do
napkin
the same.
maths and see what you do. But I will tell you, the only one of these I could find on Reverb this week was $3,299.
Holy shit.
Which is ridiculous. Nobody's paying that for it. But that will give you an idea of where we're at on some of the unobtainium. And I'll tell you which ones are available and which ones
Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
But it is a beautiful sounding pedal. Obviously, Spencer's made it into a smaller chassis now, so it can be smaller. I just have this one from way back when.
And they were originally based on the OC2,
the OC2 and the Mutron. Like one side is, that's more OC2, that's more Mutron, but that's basically what the tone control does, as far as I remember. And it has a sub control on it, although I have a separate sub-harmonic pedal, which is less, it doesn't really track as an octave pedal, it's more of a sub-harmonic pedal.
So you're not relying on the 3-leaf,
So I've got two different flavors, basically. We should have prefaced this whole thing by saying everything here is over the top. Everything here is not for
it depends
everyone.
what you're trying to do with it.
It does depend what you're trying to do. So always be aware to ask yourself that question. Do you really need 2 octave pedals on your pedal board? Most people probably not. So before the comments go like, well, why do you got so many octave pedals? That's why, people.
And also, just to bear in mind, it's so you're not having to, alter on the fly.
Exactly. I love to have repeatable sounds.
Yeah.
It's really useful. I improvise a lot. That's what this board is about. But the improvising tends to come with the time-based effects and the granular stuff that we'll get to later in the single chain. Next, we go to another 3-leaf pedal, the Doom 2.
Legendary pedal.
Super legendary pedal. And of course, I mainly use that to be paired with the octave.
Yeah.
To go in for that mini Moog, that synth kind of sound. That's how I'm getting that. Doom 2. Into my first of 2 bit crushers. You can get some really extreme sounds. That's on the sample rate reduction side. But then when you go into obliterate mode, you get to more. You've got to love a pedal that says obliterate on it.
You just hit a note and look at the audience and wait for somebody to fall over. Oh my word.
Like, we're not there yet, but if you push that through some reverb. To me, that's worth the price of admission alone. Next big crush.
Who makes the fancy bit?
That's Iron Ether.
Okay.
Iron Ether, another 1-person operation. Next is Frederick Effects. I'm not playing, you can already hear it groaning, like, come on, play me. Totally different flavor. Again, 2 bit crushers, 2 different kinds of settings. Nice to not have to twiddle too many knobs.
Yeah.
And of course, this is all about. It's Jojo Mayer, it's John Davis, it's Nerve, it's that thing. This is a new one for me, something I've been pining over for a long time, the Fairfield Circuitry Randy's Revenge. It's a ring modulator, essentially. That's what I'm using it for. Everything
this is incredible.
We're going to get there. We're going to get there.
The ambience companion.
We are going to get there. Next, I have another Iron Ether pedal. It's the Zero Graph Deluxe. But that's basically, when it's set up the right way, and I don't know why it's not working right now, it's filtering. When you're playing with synths, filters are an essential component of that. Now, this is where we split to stereo. Okay. This is another very much over-the-top element of this board. We go into the Line 6 HX Stomp. That's where you heard the harmonizer stuff coming from. And now everything down the end of the chain is stereo.
I like the patch.
Yeah.
Oh shit. The patch is called Oh Shit.
Oh shit, yeah. It's like naming songs. I'm a jazz musician primarily, and the hardest thing is not to write them, it's not to record them, it's not to play them, it's finding names for something that doesn't have words. And I'm the same with patches. I put a HX Stomp preset pack together and I was like, what am I going to call them? And it does have kind of that, like, oh shit, you know?
Yeah. Oh, he's out. Oh,
yeah, it's like, oh, it wasn't like a, oh shit, it was like a, oh shit, you know? It's like, so then I split one side, each side of the chain then has a granular delay, 2 different ones. So the backlings is in the right-hand side.
That sounds beautiful.
Very warm and warbly and kind of old and tapey. And then the Fabricat, these are both by Pladask Elektrisk from Norway.
Yeah.
Get some more mix in there.
And this in the left side.
And that's in the left side.
Yeah.
And then those come out into our ambience companion or ambient companion.
Yeah.
Which has reverb and delay. It's so beautiful.
That's beautiful.
That's the reverb side. Here's the delay side. It'll self-oscillate.
Yeah. Oh.
Push that through reverb. And because I only have control over the mix of the reverb on here, I've got a separate reverb that I can really control. It's basically just a way more in-depth version of that one knob.
Say that again. So because
This is mainly a delay pedal.
Yeah,
It is the delay reverb, but all of these knobs control the delay, and only this knob controls the reverb. So I only have control over how much of it. I can turn it on and off, and I can have none. Oops. Or I can totally wash it out.
Yeah.
So I loved it so much, I kept this pedal instead of getting the Starlight, which is just the delay.
Got it.
And got this golden reverberator. Also a beautiful sounding reverb. And then we go under the board. Then we get into, well, the bottom rail, the Ditto, the X2, which we probably still have the loop in from earlier on. Again, coming in stereo, going out stereo. We split into the two compressors. Which I could be. I could be really aggressive with that.
Forward, doesn't it? Yeah.
Kind of evens out the tone, which can be cool when you're playing with so many weird sounds and there's peaks and so many peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
And then we're into the Walrus Audio Stereo Canvas, which is a DI/line isolator, and it's a really compact way of getting those stereo channels out into the house. I guess important to talk about power. It's the most boring part of it.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I love the chocks. They're not a sponsor. It's not a commercial. I've paid full price for these, and they're just, you know, dual voltage, so 110 to 240, and 3 different options for 9, 12, 16, and 18 volts on every outlet. So you can really power a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I've got 1 to 4, 8, and so I've got 15.
Oh, so you've got these ones as well.
Yeah. So this is an extension to that, and then this one has its own power supply, and that's it.
Did you do all this?
Yeah.
You're a better man than me, dude.
I don't know. I love it. At the end of the day, I think that's the most important thing. I love this. It's like, I'm so passionate about it. I love just trying new things and making new sounds. And I think if you're asking about pedals, if you're thinking about pedals, let your curiosity be the guide. You know what I mean? Just be super curious about it, and you are going to find what you need.
Okay, guys, we love YouTube. You probably love YouTube, but let's be honest, it's not always the best platform for in-depth learning, right? Enter the SBL Academy. At SBL, we break down the bass with a curriculum-driven approach that spans from absolute beginner to super advanced. And we also cover all kinds of genres, skills, and techniques, all brought to you by world-class bass instructors. And best of all, you can get started today, yes, today, completely free. Just go to trysbl.com. How long did it take you to to feel comfortable improvising, just like jumping off the cliff, and feeling like you've got a handle on what's going on, you know what to do?
I think once I kind of understood the basic parameters of, there's no one answer to what is the best signal chamber. Once I understood the basic parameters of having kind of time-based stuff and the looper at the end and preamps and octaves and fuzzes towards the middle and towards the beginning and modulation in the middle, once I understood that, I was like, oh, there are sort of three main components here. It sort of took all the complications out of it.
Got it.
I was like, oh, anything that goes before the reverb, I can wash it out and have this. What a tool anytime you want it. So it's just a little bit, it's the same. You play 251 or you play rock and roll. Like as soon as you understand, well, you don't play with that sound, but you're like, oh, I've got a lick.
Yeah.
Oh, I can play it in two keys. It's just little building blocks of vocabulary. This is as much vocabulary as what we do when we play our instrument or when we talk to each other. That's how I think about it.
Yeah, it's freaking incredible.
It's so much fun.
It's incredible. It's
incredible. An endless rabbit hole.
This is new, right? The last sort of like couple of years, the HX Stomp, is it?
I want to say it's 8 or 9 years old.
Is it?
It's a long time. I've had one on my board for at least 6 years.
You?
Yeah, or 7 years.
I retract my statement. Anyway, I'm not going to let you go without talking about these basses as well, because last time we met, it was in London. You had one bass. We've got more basses.
I'm home here. This is the best.
Before, somebody might not have seen this. Okay. So just let everybody know. By the way, I love the Elm Top. I'm a bit of a, mid-century furniture geek.
There you go.
Like English mid-century furniture had elm. It was all made from elm, right?
Right. So, I put out a record in 2016 called American Elm. That was the name of the album. And when I came to Anders Mattisson, who makes these basses, that was something he did like as a connection. He'd heard the music and he's like, oh, let me check out Elm. That would be a nice connection to Janek's music. Yeah. We were working on making a signature instrument and blah, 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 blah. This is actually still a prototype. And it still has...
You robbed him of
Still has the F hole in it. Whoop. Which is actually an F. It's an F hole and it's an F. And I was driving from the airport in Stockholm to go out to the woods to his workshop to pick it up. And he's like, I don't know what I've done, but I think I've built you a fucking pan flute. Because this is all chambered in here. So yeah, this is my main instrument. This is what I play all the time. This is what I do a lot of my recordings on. We're working on other instruments together. I have a bunch of other ones. He made a 6-string wedding bass for me and my wife as a gift. So our association is very, very close and long lasting with this. So yeah, that's the main instrument, tuned E to C.
E to C. Shorter scale, is
32 inch with a 0 fret instead of a nut. So the 0 fret right here. And 28 frets. I think on the next one we're going to come down to 26. It was less useful than we thought. But again, this is a prototype. And you just have a connection to an instrument sometimes and you shouldn't really ask why.
What, is he making you another one?
We have something in the pipeline right now. Maybe by the time this video is out, I'll be playing it. It's something very, very special for recording classical music and something that's quite chambered. More so. We're going in that direction.
So you're still going to play this, but this is something like an additional...
Basically, as we'll get through the instruments here, I'm very much thinking about my own career as an artist and about recording and about having instruments specifically built for certain recording projects that I'm hearing.
Don't ever get rid of this.
No, never. That's it.
It's I freaking love the sound of that bass, Which one do you want to pull up next?
Let's go right to left, why not? This is something very, very new, talking about prototypes. This was some...
This reminded me...
Smell the bass, smell the glove.
I was behind, Janek was set it up and I was behind him, smelling the bass, but it smells like my childhood. And I think that it was
should we call Child Protective Services? What's going on?
Smelling new guitars that I couldn't ever afford or buy.
Yes. So this is definitely new out of the factory. I went down to Monterrey to pick it up maybe a month ago only. Yeah. And this is something I'm working on, a collaboration, not really a signature, but a collaboration with RKM, because it came out of, and we'll get to this in a minute, it came out of picking up this bass literally a year ago at the NAMM show, seeing this double reverse P situation, playing it a bunch, loving that bass, and then saying, well, maybe it'd be nice to have something that was 5 strings, E to C, but still keep this double reverse P.
Oh, so is this E to C?
This is E to C, And it's...
And the double P thing is kind of rare, isn't it? It's
I don't see it a lot.
Lee Sklar has his classic double P.
But I hadn't played it until I picked up one of these basses. Well, no, not that one. See, you ask, when did you get comfortable improvising? Still working on it, my friends. It's beautiful. And it's 24 frets. It's, you know, has a Trickfish preamp in it. I think these are, who makes the Goya copy?
Nordstrand.
Nordstrand, exactly. Kerry Nordstrand, exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kerry. Have not had much sleep lately, but yeah, so this is a prototype, and then this year at NAMM, I'll be getting the final one, and we're doing a limited run, I think of just 10 or 15 instruments. So it's like a little collaboration.
When you play that, do you generally have like one setting that you use? Is it like both pickups on? Is it generally
the thing I like about the double reverse P is that I get to have a P sound and a jazz sound on the same instrument. I think. And maybe on the 4-string, it's a little more, oh, right, because the look of it or whatever. Yeah. But I get to have the front pickups which sound more like a P, and the back pickups that can sound. I think we did a video on that song. It sounds a little more like a jazz, a little more honky, a little more mid-rangey. So yeah, that's basically what I use it for, to have a P and a jazz in the same instrument wherever I go.
Sounds cool. And do you use sometimes both pickups together?
Yeah, sometimes if I need the fatness. And what we didn't talk about with the pedals really is how much the bass and the passive versus active, the range and everything, how much that affects certain pedals.
How the pedals actually interact.
Exactly. So sometimes I'll run it in passive and I'll run both. And I'll run both pickups, sometimes right on the neck. If I want something really fat, and again, we keep going back to this reverb, but if I want a more mellow kind of tone, so.
It sounds freaking cool. And is that 34-inch scale?
This we went 32.
32. My question was basically because if it was 34, it would be like a little weird going between the two, right?
I don't mind. We'll get to the next two basses. The other RKM I have here, which was the first one I played. This is the 4-string. This has a Sadowski preamp in it, and I'm not sure what these pickups are actually. Let's make sure it's in tune. A little cold here in the morning. But what I loved about this initially, I tried this at the NAMM show, probably the worst place to listen to an instrument on earth. Total chaos, really loud, and I just really liked the neck. I couldn't even hear it, and I liked the way the neck played.
It felt,
So I don't even know if this probably got jumped around in the bag, but little hotter output, as I can already tell on this. I do need some help. Is that one? No, not that one. Let's use this one. This does go up to an F, so I don't know how many frets that is, but again, like that, you can hear the P a little more on the front. And maybe a little more punch and honk on the rear pickup. Just a good utility bass, you know what I mean? You go in the studio for a session, you don't kind of know what it is. Maybe you need one bass, jazz and a P in the same thing. Bosh. You know, and it still sort of checks the box of being like a handmade-ish, boutique-y, if you like. I'm not really sure. But to your point about it being 34, it doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother you at all, no.
Now, up until now, we've had just round wounds on these basses. And these are probably at least 15 years old. Going for that.
Damn, this bass looks sexy. I'm just looking at this Mattisson.
Security. But this one, it doesn't get any more true, wow, dirty pots as well, Jesus.
Sounds great,
It's just a P bass, you know? Yeah, it's just, and that's 34, and it doesn't bother me at all. I play this all day long.
That's interesting. Before we look at this next bass, can you talk a little bit about when you started playing with this more classical guitar style approach.
Yeah.
And like nobody can see this, but your left foot is slightly.
Yeah, normally I'll use, you know, something. I'm actually using an old hard drive.
To put your foot
You can
on.
buy obviously a classical footstool or something, and I had one. I keep breaking them, so I'm actually using an old hard drive, which is about that high, like an old, you know, and it's kind of at that height. Maybe my seat's a little higher, but yeah, I basically want to take all of the pressure. It's all about economy of movement at the end of the day.
Is it something that you like? Were you sat like that 10, 15 years ago, or is this something that's changed?
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is, I always sat like this. Whenever I sat and played, I always sat like this.
Always sat like that.
Always, because I came from classical guitar to the bass, and it just made ergonomically the most sense. What I used to do is stand and play a lot.
Yeah.
Absolutely not anymore. It's been probably a decade since I played a gig.
Because of your back?
Just because I'm like, I don't want to be 60 and feel like I'm 90. You know what I mean? So yeah, maybe because of the back, I don't think I thought about it specifically because of the back, but just,
if you don't know, there's a lot of older musicians, specifically bass players with really
players and drummers, terrible posture.
Phil Collins, like,
oh my God, yeah. Did you see that movie? And he's just like in the chair being interviewed. Man,
it's crazy,
tragic.
Yeah.
And but what was great in that movie was they showed his setup, the way it was set up, and everyone's like, how did he play this for 40 years? They couldn't like what the hip and the. So yeah, that is very much a conscious decision to go like this. Of course, I play so much melodic music in the higher register of the instrument. It makes sense for access to those notes. And I play a 32-inch scale, 32-inch scale mainly. Yeah. The 34-inch doesn't bother me so much, although I haven't played a 2-hour gig on a P-bass in a very long time.
Got it. Okay.
So,
yeah.
You know, if I ever have one of those again.
Yeah. Something if you go back to that position we're in right there, something that might not be like massively obvious if you're looking on camera is that the bass is not flat to Janek's body. It's not like that. It's actually.
Oh, it's very much at an angle.
It's pushed out a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. How do we get that? I don't know how that will translate. Well, here it is. If it was flat to my body, it'd look like that.
Yeah.
And where I play it is out there at probably, what's that?
Almost like a 45.
Yeah, almost 45-degree angle. Ooh. Yeah, so, but it feels, there's no tension anywhere. There's no tension in my left hand, in my right hand. I can take my hands away. I don't have a strap right now on the bass, and I'm fine. Like it's a little on the neck heavy side because of the bass. My other instrument, not at all.
It just sits perfectly,
Yeah, and I've found the spot that it balances, and like so many people play like this.
Like that.
Look at Marcus.
Just because,
and Stanley, the two of the legends of the instrument, and they play like that, you know? And that is just an injury waiting to happen. That's wrist surgery when you're 70.
Yeah, because there's like a bone, I can't wait, it's the carpal bone, isn't it? And all of the tendons run through it. And if you do this, then the tendons are running over the bone.
I don't know the technical aspects of it, but I do know a lot of musicians who have carpal tunnel and all of those kind of things, you know. So yeah, definitely I'm trying to have the wrist as straight as possible and my picking hand, for me, that's my right hand.
Yeah.
And then, you know, when I'm palm muting, the fingers are almost parallel to the strings, and there's just no tension anywhere. That's basically it.
Yeah. Let's check out the last bass, and then we're going to try and guess the value of your pedalboard.
Oh my word! Yeah, let's do it.
What is this thing?
So this is what the Kerry Nordstrand Acronics, is it called? Somebody
the cat bass.
The cat bass. Everyone calls it the cat bass. That is what this is copied.
Right.
And this is a Goya Panther II from the early to mid 60s. I'm going to turn it up and pray that it works because it's really temperamental. Let's tune it.
It looks temperamental. It looks like something that would be in a school cupboard.
I mean, it's 20 years older than me, and I know how I feel, so I can't imagine how this bass feels, you know, or 25 years older than me even. Let's see if it plays. Oh, yeah, baby. But this is short scale. I believe this is like 30 or 31. But
it sounds awesome.
And you have pickup selectors that are switches, and these all need a lot of work. I just have it kind of wide open right now. And I'm really curious to see, even with this, just to see, like trying to do kind of what I do, but on an instrument I don't ever do it on.
Yeah.
That's why I keep these around. That's why I take them for that, who knows factor on a session. Yeah. And this is fun. It's fun. It's punchy. I did a cover of Up on Cripple Creek by the band that's on my YouTube channel. I used this and I was like, oh, that was the perfect bass for that song.
Yeah.
And I haven't used it since. That was 8 months ago. So there are those aspects of a bass collection or having more than one bass. I believe you've been working with Lee Sklar, who has dozens and dozens. And at one point would show up to the studio with 20 or 30. Tim Price, the guitarist, with a truck.
Have you been to Ian's house?
Huh?
You went to Ian's house, right?
Martin Allison? He blindfolded me and made me play a bunch of his basses. I had to guess them. So, shall we?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna go for $8,000
US dollars.
8,000.
You are very, very close. And I did this. It was like 7633 or something. 7,633. Based off of, you can't get some of these pedals anymore. Yeah. Like I said,
that one's adding a lot.
Well, I took that way down. I saw this at 3,300 and I said, okay, realistically, that's $700. I have been offered $700 several times for that pedal. That went at 700. You can't get Frantibits or Zero Graph Deluxes below 400 or 500. It's kind of crazy. These things go on sale once every 6 months from the builder and you have to be there at 9 a.m.
That's the thing, like some of them do, well, a lot of them do them in these batches, don't they?
Absolutely.
So they'll like release a batch of 100 and then it's just gone.
So Scour Reverb, please don't on my account go out and try and do this. This is very bad for your health. If you're under the age of 35, 100% you are not allowed to do this. Like, you can't recover from this. I'm old.
There's no going back.
It's one of the few things I get to recover from. I can do it now, but don't do this if you're young. Get an HX Stomp. Get a nice preamp. Like, we didn't talk about entry-level preamps. MXR, the Bass DI preamp. Amazing sounding. The Aguilar.
You sell not patches.
Presets.
Presets on your site. And stuff,
I have some.
You?
If you do end up with one of these, or if you have one, I have a bunch of presets for synth bass, for studio sounds, my signature sounds, delays, reverbs, some of the stuff you're hearing.
JanekGwizdala.com.
Yes.
YouTube, obviously.
Sure. Yeah.
Anywhere else that you're?
I'm off.
Spotify.
Everything. Yeah, of course. The music is all on Spotify.
Spotify.
Check it out.
We could go and hound him. Get his stuff. Cool. Thanks, guys. Hopefully you got near. Well, I think that my guess might have been like on it, but hopefully you got somewhere close as well down in the comments. And wicked. We'll see you next time. Cheers, mate.